Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilley's Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast today. Today's Thursday the 25th, or is it the 26th? I don't know my phone. Can't remember what I said yesterday. They're running one unit of water. I boated down here below Cooper Creek, the waterfall, C of O waterfall is just right over there. I came out, I've been out about 40 minutes or so, and I've kind of been scouting out the area. I've got a number 14 black zebra midge with a gold head and copper ribbing and 6X fluorocarbon tippet, and a float about 2 foot deep, 2 foot above the fly. And there's a few fish out here. There's one, maybe I should just cast. They're surfacing some, but they're real scattered, and they're not everywhere. Just kind of hoping to find a few more. Still a little bit early, but I mean, if you look across the lake, you'll see probably 6 or 7 rising in it at one time. But it's fun to target them, but you'd like to have a few more coming up. I got a boat that's going by me, so I'm going to wait till he gets by. Fishing's been pretty good today. It's a beautiful day. 75 degrees is a high. It's not quite as humid as it was. There's some fish over there that by the scum line, but they're not. See, out here in the middle of the lake, it's real clear, but you get over on that side, you got that scum line. It's stuff that's floating on the surface, and they usually kind of key in on that, but they're not really doing that right now. A lot of them are just out here in the middle. I am going to go over this way a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and cast. They are coming up a little bit more towards the stem line, so I'm going to target them. I do have a jig on a rod too, just in case they're not biting this midge. But these guys are coming up and taking these little midge off the surface of the water when they right when they hatch, where they could be eating the pupas that are swimming up to the film. One right out there. He's pretty active. I have been coming up and looking at my float. One ate my float. Yeah, I didn't throw far enough to get him. But there are a few more downstream here. See if I'm going to float into one of them. They'll tend to stay in one place. They might move right or left a little bit, but they're not going to swim up or down very far. They are there just to eat midges in their lane, so to speak. Nothing on one cast. I'm not going to bore you with sitting here watching me trying to catch one on the first cast. You try to cast out ahead of them and let the fly drift down to them where they're feeding. My fly might be a little bit deep. These fish are just like 6 inches under the surface. I think I'm going to change. I'm 2 feet below the surface. They might not go down and get it. I need to put it right in front of their face. So I'm going to set it about 6 or 7 inches deep. That way it's hanging right there in front of them. They either gotta eat it or swim around it. Swimming around it. Come on. 14 is a little bit big. Maybe. But I figure these are fish that have not been in the lake very long, so I didn't think they would fill. You really have to watch your float. If it goes under, set the hook. Wow. I was on that one. There, I got him. He's a color overstocker, but he's pretty good size. He just spit up a whole bunch of midges. Right down there in the water. Pretty good size midges. They look like they're the pupas. They're the ones that have not come out of the shell yet. Yeah, I'm still there. I'm not seeing any midge right now. They haven't come out of that shell yet. They're just the worm. And that's pretty much what a zebra midge imitates. So a little bit further over in the scum line. Dwayne posted some pictures of him and Jack Harris caught this morning. They went out early this morning and was throwing his jerk baits. Looks like they caught some nice rainbows. A few of them down here that are eating. Oh, I took a DO, checked the dissolved oxygen level down here. Okay, eat it. It's 7.9, which is great. Oop. That got me. 7.9 and 58 degrees. That's taking it about 1.5 feet, 2 foot under the surface. And again, if you don't know what that is, dissolved oxygen content. That's the oxygen that's in the water. That's what the fish and other things in the water need to live. They need that oxygen, and 10 or 12 parts is a lot. It's super, I don't want to say super saturated because that might be an official term, but that's a lot high. Missouri in their Clean Water Act sets their bottom threshold at 5 parts per million. Anything less than 5, they consider it polluted. But the national level is 4. So when the dam releases water, the dam is owned by a federal entity, so they adhere to the federal standard, which is, well, I went to recast over here and I had a fish on. So they adhere to the 4 parts. When it gets down below 4, below 3, you start to see things really slow down. You get down below 3, you might see some smaller fish start to die. Suckers, fish that don't move around a lot, and they're on the bottom. Yeah, that's the second boat that's cut us off up here. I guess they're in a hurry to get home.
If you're doing one cast, you've got guys like that.
I talked to him earlier. He had a guy go right in front of him where he was fishing. I mean, kind of like that one guy did to me here a couple of weeks ago. He had the whole lake to go around him, and he went between him and the bank. I don't know. People just don't. I don't know. When you're boating, you gotta be nice to people. You really ought to watch and see where they're fishing and not run your boat on the side of the boat where somebody's casting off of. If you can go behind them. And that's not even addressing whether you should slow down or not. I don't know. I understand a lot of people just don't boat very much, and they don't understand. That's okay. He was in a rental boat, so he probably didn't boat that much. Oh, come on. You're right there. I think, you know, when fish are picky like this, well, you can change colors. You can use the same size fly, but I tend to use a smaller fly. I'll drop in size. Because maybe the big fly is not something they want to eat. And I am getting to fly right in front of them, but they're just not, for the most part, they're not being very, see, they're right here off the boat. That probably wasn't very smart. The float might spook them, but I doubt it. It's a pretty small float. It's got a lot of fish. I'll make sure my fly's in good. No. Something going on. Yeah. My float slid down on my fly. That's not going to work. Come on, where are you? Well, I spent the afternoon at the License Bureau today. Everybody likes to go to the License Bureau. And, you know, we have a lot of boats and stuff to get registered, so we spend a lot of time there in the past, but I had to renew a driver's license and I wanted to get that federal ID. And I thought I read up on it. There we go. And I thought I took in everything I needed to take in. But just about every time I go to the License Bureau, I have to make at least 2 trips. And today was the same. You're supposed to bring in two items that prove your residency. So you have to bring in a bill, credit card bill or a gas bill or something with your name and address on it. Well, I brought in one, but you're supposed to have 2. So I had to go home and get another one. But you always got to wonder why things like that happen. And it was kind of cool. I ran into an old friend and we got reacquainted a little bit. So it was a blessing that I had to go back the second time. So you never know why things happen. I just figured the Lord wanted me there at 3:30 and not 2:30. Right there. I can touch him with my rod. I am seeing more midges. Okay. I'm going to have to call it quits. I was going to try to get Ryan to do one cast today, but he took off before I got back from the License Bureau. One more. Fighting good. These are nice fish if you're wanting to have a few for dinner. Good size. There's one right there. If you don't hit it in 10 seconds, you don't get to. Time's up. Well, thanks for watching. I was hoping we'd find a few more fish, but that was okay. And you got a boat lesson. We'll see you tomorrow. Yep.